Life after shaken baby syndrome. Jacah Jadon Jefferson. Shaken Baby Syndrome, and our host, Mr. Jacah Jefferson. All right, give me Haley, give me Cody. Let's play the feud. All right, here we go. Who is one of the coolest guys you know?
Jacah Jefferson. Jacah Jefferson.
Correct, Jacah Jefferson. On September 23rd, 2006, a healthy 6-pound, 2-ounce, 19-inch baby boy blessed this earth with his presence. His name is Jacah Jadon Jefferson. After 5 short months of life, March 2nd, 2007, Jacob was brutally beaten, abused by his biological mother's boyfriend. His lifeless body was taken to Memorial Hermann Northwest, reporting trouble breathing. He was then immediately transferred to Texas Children's Hospital, where they discovered 4 fractured ribs that were healing, a fractured right leg that was healing, an upper jaw fracture, inner nose bone fracture, blood behind both eyes, brain bleeds, and possible seizures. Doctors diagnosed him with shaken baby syndrome, also called abusive head trauma, which means a serious brain injury resulting from forcefully shaking an infant or toddler. His injuries were so severe that doctors believe he would be blind, need a trachea, and may not even survive. After being discharged to a relative that gave him back to CPS, 2 foster homes that he endured more abuse. God saw fit to bless his maternal grandparents with custody on July 14, 2007. This responsibility, among other things, led to a split in the grandparents' marriage, and after 2 years, his entire biological family faded away. Jacob continued to reside with his step-grandmother, Stacy Williams, who he calls Mama. The only dad he knows, Dexter, and his uncles, Jeffrey and Ernest. As a result of the abuse, Jacob suffers from cerebral palsy, seizure disorder, developmental delays, and visual impairments. In December 2017, Jacob underwent his first surgery to correct his scoliosis. With all that he endures, Jacob lives his life after shaken baby syndrome to the fullest. He is a lover of music, traveling, especially by cruise ship, and continues to be the center of attention to his family. Jacob is known for his $1 million smile and wardrobe, especially his tennis shoes. In 2015, Jacob won the hearts of many across the nation with his hashtag Team Jacob movement in a quest to purchase a wheelchair-accessible van. He is the inspiration of this nonprofit organization, Love Has No Disability, Inc. What we like for you to know about Jacob is that his life and the love he brings into our lives is a true example of the love Jesus showed on the cross. No matter what pain he feels or what obstacles he may face, Jacob does it with a smile, and that's proof that there is truly life after shaken baby syndrome. Amen. Life after traumatic brain injury, James Eli. To the
right to the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Gonna roll your shoulders, do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part of this time to shine. Gonna do the two-step and cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin our wheel. Do the hold down and get it.
Eli was born neurotypical. At 5 months old, he sustained a traumatic brain injury, TBI, due to shaken baby syndrome, SBS, at the hands of his babysitter, who was a family friend. He was taken via ambulance for continuous seizures to our local hospital, which was not equipped to deal with the severity of his injury in a child so small. So he was life-flighted to our local children's hospital. Eli coded twice on the flight and went immediately into a 9-hour brain surgery to treat him for a subdural hematoma on the left side of his brain. He had a craniotomy, which is where they removed part of the skull to relieve pressure and then cleared out the blood that was building up. He was placed in a drug-induced coma to help with seizure activity and to help keep him calm while the swelling and fluids went down. At this time, he had 2 shunts to help with swelling and fluids also. After his surgery, we were told to call all of our family in to say goodbye because his chances of survival were very slim. Shortly thereafter, police from our hometown also showed up to question us and tell us that the doctors had ruled his injury as abuse. For 6 weeks, he was kept in a drug-induced coma. During this time, he went septic due to a duodenal perforation. They are honestly not sure if that tear was due to physical trauma by the babysitter or if it was sustained during life-saving efforts while on the life flight. They had to repair the perforation 5 different times because each time they sewed him back up. It would rupture again due to swelling and infection. The final time they left his abdomen open, placed a mesh barrier, and put a wound vacuum on to remove infection and promote healing from the inside. During those 6 weeks' time, and I know this word, gastrus G2 was placed due to his neurological status and their doubt that he would recover and have the cognitive ability to eat on his own. Once Eli was brought out of his coma, we were told that he would only ever be a vegetative state and that he would have a very limited lifespan. They recommended institutionalization at the point to, in their words, avoid the burden that he would be, and actually went as far as to get him a spot in a facility without even asking us first. Obviously, I declined that option. I was a very young mother and at that point, 21, and medical ignorant, but that did not dissuade me from telling them that we would be taking Eli home and we would give him the very best quality of life that we could for whatever time he had. We began seeing a variety of specialists at the hospital there and traveled several times a month. One of the major issues that has always been a problem is seizure activity. Eli has several different types of seizures: absence, focal, myoclonic, atonic, and tonic-clonic. He also has what his doctors refer to as neurostorms, which is just basically static activity all over his brain. This is especially strong at night when he's sleeping. Global brain damage, which affects every part of his life. Even though he is 16, Eli is at the cognitive level of an infant. Eli is fully dependent for all of his care. He doesn't have head or trunk control. He doesn't speak. Due to his brain damage, he has quad spastic cerebral palsy, meaning all 4 extremities are affected. He has laryngomalgia, folding airway, exacerbated. Yeah, I'm sorry, and I did practice, but when you get up here and start reading these words, it does become a little exacerbated by his CP. He has central sleep apnea, where the brain doesn't communicate to the body to take breaths. He has obstructive sleep apnea due to CP and laryngomalacia. He has scoliosis due to CP and poor muscle tone. He has cortical vision impairment, CVI, and is legally blind. He has osteoporosis due to lack of movement and seizure medication use. He has acquired polycystic kidney disease, PKD, due to seizure medication use and osteoporosis. Neurogenic bladder, hip dysplasia due to CP, poor muscle tone, and osteoporosis, and a myriad of other smaller diagnoses. Due to the fact that he was too fed and has such massive amounts of muscle spasms, he was considered failure to thrive until age 8, when he had a baclofen pump implanted to help with spasms. He has spinal rods to prevent organ compression due to scoliosis and CP. He's had multiple hip surgeries. Harbor had to be removed because of bone condition due to osteoporosis, and had to have the entire top of his femur removed to avoid contact between his hip and femur, and hit with radiation to prevent new growth. He's had 47 major surgeries, countless minor procedures. He sees 25 different doctors on a regular basis. He takes 11 chronic medications and has multiple pieces of medical equipment for us to take care of him. In spite of all his medical issues, he is relatively healthy due to great care from our physicians and diligence in getting him preventive care to keep him healthy. Once I took Eli home, I began researching every condition he had. Changed hospitals to get better care, even moved to another state to have more immediate access to his healthcare team. I began searching out online support and resources and have built a wonderful network of similarly affected families and medically complex children. He loves music and singing, his family and his cartoons. Even though he's not like typical kids, he still communicates with those who can understand him. He's happy, mostly healthy, and we try to fit as many experiences in for him while we have him. Traveling and making sure he sees all the things is super important to me.